The video below is a Bishi TV from a Mexican audio store. The staff on duty that night claimed to have suffered a horrific haunting incident in the store. And the surveillance video also recorded the bizarre process. The stereo shop is already closed, and the clerk was tidying up the storefront, prepared to put new DVDs on the shelves. As he placed the discs on the cart in their respective positions, the cart in the aisle was bizarrely pushed. And the sound of the upper shadow of the car falling down also made the power supply aware of the abnormality. However, at this time, he did not take it to heart, but continued to work with his head down. When he came to the front, ready to tidy up another shelf, just now, where it had been disposed of, a disc fell for no apparent reason. The clerk who heard the sound calmly picked up the fallen goods and rearranged them. But what was it trying to trick him? The video disc that I picked up the previous second fell to the ground again. Although he was surprised, he picked it up and put it back in his place. However, then witnessing the bizarre scene began to shake his heart. At this time, he was frightened again and repeated the same action, but the same thing was annoying to see, so the video discs on the shelves began to fall wildly. An eerie atmosphere swept the audience. The clerk could no longer hold back the fear in his heart. Put down what you have in your hand. Without looking back, he fled the video shop. This video is the second TikTok user Handy spoke driving, recorded during night driving. We can see it in the video. The driver was driving on the road. Suddenly, I saw a white object on the side of the road. When the driver drives the car closer to observe, it was discovered that the white object also had a human face, and all wrapped in a white cloth. Some netizens think this is a prank by boring people. Place the puppet on the side of the road. Play with passing drivers. But I think it's supposed to be a Bauto zombie. Bauto zombies. Pocong. It is a terrifying monster in Indonesian folklore. It is the soul of the dead trapped in the human world. Anyway, I think the driver chose to leave in the end. It is very sensible. April 2015, an anonymous photographer. In a courtyard called the Copiapo Center Cemetery, a strange thing was recorded. Although he had some uncomfortable feelings all over his body at the time, but he still ignored that existence until he checked the footage again. A child with unrecognizable facial features suddenly stepped out of this position. He tilted his head like a zombie. His face is completely green. And that's not even the spooky part. Pay attention to his right hand. He was carrying a basket in his hand. But her entire right hand is transparent. Said the photographer. No children passed by her at all. So where did the blue-faced kid go? The original source of this fragment is unknown, but the text description in the video is very scary. I can't show it in its entirety, because later they deleted it. The world is coming to an end. Although it sounds a bit of a secondary too. But this pair of reptilian or demonic claws, it looks realistic. We need to see the rest to look for clues. A drunken man on his way home at night. almost lost his life. But fortunately, she met a kind being which allowed her to escape. This bizarre event is recorded in the rest of the surveillance. Let's take a look. Pay attention to the drunk man in the picture. Do you see what happened? Clearly look at it again. The drunk man stumbled to the side of the bridge. He was holding the fence with his hands unconsciousness. He almost fell, seeing that his feet were off the ground at this time. A mysterious figure not far away quickly came to him, held down the man, pressed his feet down, and narrowly prevented the tragedy. Noteworthy. Deliberately, the mysterious black shadow then quickly disappeared into the frame. And the drunken man probably doesn't know what he has just experienced. After standing there for a while, I started walking home again. So, do you think the dark shadows in the film are humans or ghosts? Feel free to leave a message at the bottom of the video. Here's a video from a surveillance video installation taken at a hospital in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It is said that after the video was released, many local news outlets reported on it. The video was shot at 3:30 a.m. and recorded an eerie scene. In the picture, the hospital's automatic reprinting door is open, but we can't see anyone walking in, and the strange thing is that the receptionist at the front desk picks up the registration book and ties it up and opens the isolation belt, and then registers it in the notebook. It seems to be receiving someone, and stretched out his hand to guide the invisible man into the hospital. The camera switches to another surveillance camera. The staff member walked to the elevator, pick up a wheelchair, and offer it to this invisible person. But it seems to have been rejected, according to the receptionist. At that time, he received an old woman, since he didn't come out for a long time after entering the hospital. So I asked the other staff, but the answer was yes. The hospital did not admit any patients at that time. Didn't see the old woman he was talking about. The staff member was puzzled. He double-checked the register. The information of the old woman registered at that time was found. It was exactly the same as the day before when a sick woman had been. Many people believe it was a haunted incident that happened in a hospital. This invisible man. It should be the ghost of a certain patient. Because of what happened in the video, it can't be explained by common sense. Gustavorina feared for her life. I also saw a ghost for her. Through her Facebook account, the young man shows how she encounters the paranormal. Gustavo opened the door of a car and left a can on the roof. When he picked up his backpack inside, the drink fell out. He didn't care, thinking he thought it was the result of him closing the door, though he thought it was a little strange to be left where he was. He checked the security camera afterwards, and that's why he counted down his hair. A strange apparition sprung up behind him. When he appeared, the unusual movement of the can falling was perhaps the most frightening hypothetical for many. seconds ago when the song lights flashed. There's nothing there. A few seconds later, next to the luggage in the house next door, a pair of flickering eyes appeared. Although you can think that this is some kind of night vision animal. For example, the eyes of an owl, but there didn't seem to be a place for it to stand. Combined here is a private underground garage. Many children love to play with their imaginary friends. It's normal, but we have to admit it. Sometimes imaginary friends. It's not as friendly as adults think. The provider of the first video is the girl's uncle. The child's parents told him, "Two strange things have happened recently." This came after they moved to a new home. The first one happened when the child was playing with his doll. "We were in the room. Oops, don't know what to do. See what to do." The father immediately got up and went to check the place, and no one was hiding there. The doll's falling motion is understandable, but then something pulls it in, and that's where the father is confused. The second thing happened during the meal. The cause is that the child is half-heartedly looking at the chair. Who's there? Is anyone there? Who's there, Fiorella? See who's there. Is anyone there? Who's there? My father was curious. Just the stool asked, "Is there anyone there?" And the invisible man? In the end, the girl behaved anxiously and fearfully. This is a video from the web. The photographer recorded the scenery in the open outdoors on this day. But just as he looked around quickly, when you want to capture more footage, some terrifying presence was hiding in the corner and staring at him. However, the photographer at the time did not notice anything strange. After some time, when he flipped over the history again, only then did I find that terrifying figure and saw her bloodless appearance. The photographer was instantly devastated, even though some time had passed since that day. So do you think the girl hiding by the window is a living person? The video below is of a woman named Nate, uploaded on Facebook. The purpose of the video is to record the process of diving yourself. But unexpectedly, a strange incident occurred. The woman struggled in pain in the water. Something seems to be tugging at it. We can see it clearly from the picture. The woman has a pair of legs behind her, but when she turned around, but I couldn't see anyone. According to the woman, it happened in an instant. She didn't react at all to what was happening. When she looked back at the footage, I saw this strange scene. What could these feet be? Is it a water ghost caught by a camera? Jal ALS is a casual YouTuber who chronicles his life. 2 years ago, he uploaded a video of going fishing with friends. However, Two squid-like UFOs were unexpectedly filmed suspended in the air. ALS didn't know how to use email. So when people asked him for the original video without background music, he didn't know how to send it to them. These two objects are so huge that ALS observed them from different angles. At one point, they let out a piercing roar. At the end of the video, they fled in a panic. ALS also did not give a detailed description of the two objects afterwards. Even if we zoom in, it's hard to know what they are. But what is certain is that they have a metallic luster. Nichback is on TikTok, a Spanish girl who likes to keep track of herself. Her video can be said to be completely incompatible with the paranormal, and the number of plays is not very high. She just wanted to be in front of the camera. Show off as much of your talent as you can. But in a video uploaded 2 years ago, she said she may have recorded ghosts. What is it? It can well be imagined. One says the supernatural. The video has garnered 6 million views. The text in the video means, "He thought it was a pigeon, ready to record. I thought it was funny." In response to speculation that the audience thought it was a pigeon, the girl declared that she had seen nothing. It's not a prank, it's a real record. Some viewers are already starting to get scared. The more popular comments suggested that it was a mischievous ghost interacting with the girl. So, what do you think of this strange incident? The sixth Miss Satan. This home surveillance video from the internet. The entire course of a supernatural event is recorded, and the person behind the scenes also seems to have been captured by the camera. The woman in the picture after washing her face, ready to leave when she was about to step out of the surveillance range. Out of nowhere, a force suddenly came towards the woman. Unsuspected, she almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, after reacting in time and standing firm, the woman looked behind her, but she didn't see a ghost looking around. Reluctantly, he left with the monitor in his arms. But just because he didn't see it doesn't mean the surveillance didn't capture it. Look at it again. At the last moment when the woman looked pushed, from the picture, a transparent figure can be seen quickly coming behind her. And the corresponding actions were made. And then the next second, there was an immediate accident. It's certainly not a coincidence, unless it's all about the woman playing a prank. What do you think, smart viewers? Here's a video. It was filmed by a girl at home. On this day, he was playing with his mobile phone at home, found a creature in the corridor outside the door. He's not sure what. At first he thought it was a cat, so I recorded it with my camera. At first, the camera couldn't get a picture at all. What is this creature? What it can be seen, he seems to have spotted the girl filming. It was as if he had raised his head and looked at it with a pair of eyes. At first glance, it does look like a cat, but for a moment, it seemed like a flash of light. Let's freeze the shot. It was discovered that it looked like a distorted human face. I'm not sure what it is. Is this a human-faced monster? Or is it a ghost that the girl inadvertently photographed? It's up to you to decide. WhatsApp25 is a gaming blogger on YouTube with 4 million followers. Her Instagram account also shares games and daily life, completely detached from the paranormal. In a nocturnal video she uploaded in 2019, some fans noticed the presence of a bride on the side of the road. If you don't increase the brightness, you might think it's just a normal woman. His upper body appears to be translucent. Just think about it. Who would sit here late at night in a bride's clothes? A video of an unknown flying creature was shared. Some kind of large creature with wide wings crossed the city in the sky of a thunderstorm. A group of children found them on the balcony and immediately recorded on your phone. Another user, Mr. Lucian, shared a version with live sounds. Some users think that he is just an edited 3D animation or part of a monster movie. Others think it's real. Maybe some kind of large bird. So what do you think these creatures are? Or maybe they were just added later. The young lady wants to show us some of her special talents in showing your true identity. What's your name, Satan? Watch it again, the video is smooth. It doesn't look like it's clip-stitched. So the question is, how does it do it? The motorcycle parked on the side started on its own and tried to turn around and escape without anyone controlling it. However, that invisible force is limited after all, and after moving the car for 8 seconds, there is nothing that can be done. Do you think the phenomenon of the motorcycle starting in the video could be a supernatural event? It shows a little girl playing in the sand. A translucent black shadow appeared on the grass not far away. We can't see exactly what it is, but the strange thing is that the little girl seems to be able to see her presence, greet the shadow, and signal her to come and play with her. The shadow then moved to the little girl's side, but we still couldn't see what she looked like. I couldn't tell what she was doing. Only a translucent black shadow can be seen during the whole process. Could this be the ghost of a child? It is often assumed that children have yin and yang eyes. Some children are born with special extrasensory abilities, able to see the presence of spirits and ghosts that are imperceptible to ordinary people. But this ability tends to fade away as you grow older. Some netizens agree with this statement, and he said he had experienced it himself. However, some netizens think that this video is just a special effect. Did you ever experience a supernatural event as a child? Please leave a message in the comment section. March 2012. The German newspaper Bild published a sensational news. It is said that a giant's finger was found in Egypt. Fingers up to 38 centimeters long. In order to compare the sizes, there was a bill next to him. The photo was taken in 1988. It's a guy named Greg. The man in the book is offered. According to him, 1988 year, a private provider in the northeast of Cairo of Bilhook, in a small house, held a meeting of robbers about ancient tombs. One of the grave robbers told him, "If you pay $300, I'll show you the baby." It is a rectangular bag with a strong smell. Inside was a huge mummified finger wrapped in rags. To prove authenticity, Dow Thief shows an X-ray of a mummy's finger from the 60s. Superi was allowed to hold the relic and took a few photos. According to his speculation, the creature to which he belongs should be at least 5 meters tall. Superi asked the thief to sell the relic, but was rejected by the other party. Later, he showed the photographs to the representatives of the various museums, but they just waved him away. They all say that the finger does not conform to modern theory. The only thing that makes this story convincing is a few suspicious photos. Without the help of physical objects, it is difficult to analyze the authenticity of the broken paper. Maybe the tomb robbers were just trying to cheat him out of his money. Or maybe it's the real giant's finger, reminiscent of the huge gods in the walls of the pyramid, framed mural with smaller humans. After the giant sarcophagus was opened, but there was no one. This seems to be a metaphor for something. Security guard in an office building in Brazil shared strange incidents he encountered while working. The surveillance camera at the front desk caught it. Incredible movement. The security guard said that the elevator on the left was broken that day. Crews are repairing. He's been standing guard at that position. Prevent someone from straying into that place. He was well aware that there was no water on the floor. He didn't feel the slightest tremor on the ground at the time. It's puzzling. The yellow warning board just moved. The next video is taken from Wicker Hill's dashcam. Not far from the car, a man can be seen wearing a Grookia-style outfit. Passing through the road to the other side, and to the shock of the video owner, the man went straight through the wall and disappeared in an instant. When Wicker shared this video on the internet, it quickly attracted heated discussions among netizens. Some people think that the place where the man walked through was an intersection, and there was no wall at all, just because of the visuals. Of course, there are also people who believe that the man's clothing is in the style of more than 200 years ago. If he's alive, it's probably something going on, or he's a veritable ghost. However, a closer look at the man's body reveals that he is not a physical being. What's even more unusual is that no matter how you look at it, it's a dark shadow. Which view do you agree with more? The following video is said to be one by Mexico City, captured by a surveillance camera at a large shopping mall called Metropolitan Plaza. We can see a mall security guard standing next to an empty dining table in the video. He looked at one of the chairs, as if inspecting. After a while, he stretched out a hand and waved it above the chair. It's like stroking something. And then he began to speak as if he were talking to someone, and stretched out his fingers, as if to tell the invisible object to leave. The video switches to the lens of another surveillance camera. The security guard looked around nervously, seems to be double-checking to make sure he's not being followed. Finally, he opened a door in a panic, left the area. So, what exactly is the man in the video talking to? Is it because the vocational class is too tired? See something that doesn't exist? Or is there something unusual happening at the mall? Someone photographed the Millennium Death in Star Wars. I'm sure you'll have the same doubts as me after reading it. Is this a rich man's high-end toy? Or is it that the prototype of the Millennium of Attrition comes from this flying object? The second paragraph is that they report a strange hen in South Africa, although the title of the video describes it so. But I feel like the photographer may be speaking the language of Southeast Asia. Now we're going to turn it on. It's turned on. It's on, and now we're going to turn it on. June 19th, 2023. A man named Jerry's in Minas Gerais, Brazil, filming an incredible scene. On the hill in the distance, there was a strange point of light. When the man zoomed in on the camera, he found that it looked like the figure of someone. But strangely, he was covered with dazzling light. And the whole process is motionless, and we can't be sure what he really is. After the video is uploaded to the network, some people think that maybe someone is doing some kind of optical reflection test. But in this wilderness, it obviously doesn't make sense. In addition, some people think that it may be an angel. For some reason, he stayed in the human world for a short time. But the video uploader doesn't provide much information. And he claimed that this strange light and shadow soon disappeared. When he went to check the location, he didn't find anything special. What do you think this will be? Please leave a message in the comment section. There are countless videos of pranks on the internet, but not all pranks end well. A girl dresses herself up as a female ghost. Stay at the front desk of the hotel. The purpose is to scare people who come and go. Let's take a look at two more strange incidents recorded by users of the Facebook Ghost group. The first paragraph was shared by a guy named Mar Benson. His friends took their families out into the wild to play. A gray-skinned woman dressed like the last century appear behind his friends and family. The footage was only a few seconds, but her friend insisted it was absolutely real. Do you think this woman could be a ghost? The second paragraph is shared by user Black6, more than 11 o'clock in the evening. Creepy orange treasures have appeared on Australian highways. There are no cars ahead, and it's not the reflection of the signs on either side. The redwood clump was very strange in that position.